I don't really see any reason not to say this. Unfortunately, I'm still on the topic of doctors. After my years of hell with diazepam and doctors, and I won numerous battles but lost the war. In the case of diazepam, numerous. And that last one I would have won had I not been prescribed doxycycline, there's no doubt. I was down to 4 milligrams daily. And my nose is itching. No doubt I would have won that battle, but I would have won the war, but for the prescription of doxycycline. And in fact, it has occurred to me a few times that that doctor whom I trusted for 16.5 years might not have been quite so trustworthy as I thought, because that happened a year after Fiona's death. Mind you, if I'd been going to talk, surely I would have done it in the previous year. But I have wondered about the timing of it. Recently I've wondered anyway. This keeps happening. Even when I'm really furious about a subject, I can lose my train of thought just by going off at a tangent. Okay, this isn't what I had planned, but never mind. I have made it my business to find out a huge amount about benzodiazepines, which is the name for a lot of drugs ending in apam, like diazepam, lorazepam, temazepam, Xanax is one as well. They will tell you it's a substitute drug for benzodiazepines when they're trying to get you off benzodiazepines, but it is a benzodiazepine. And the said drugs, by the way, are even worse. And I told the doctor that when he prescribed them to me in 1995. I said these drugs are addictive. With the effect this has just had on me. They're addictive. No, he said, they're practically herbal. 20 years on, they are known to be even more addictive than benzodiazepines. And thank God I did not trust the man, and I took 2 the first night, 1 the second night, half the third night, none the fourth. By then I was wise to them. Bastards. I don't see why I should have any other opinion. So, they were first of all sold to the unsuspecting public in 1956. By 1961, the first reports of benzodiazepine withdrawal were in, well and truly in. In other words, people had been guinea pigs even then for 5 years, and the result of that was that in their millions, people had reported withdrawal symptoms. By 1961. I was first prescribed them in 1977. And I did notice effects that were not entirely desirable. I'd lost my capacity to feel beauty. I could still see it and photograph it, but I couldn't feel it anymore. That was noticeable inside 3 months of taking them. I had my first ever panic attack, actually, in Switzerland, on a particularly beautiful train ride. Bern to Samplon? Something like that. No, the Samplon. I can't remember. It went to Stresa in Italy anyway, from Switzerland. And I was on this train and I began to feel sensations I'd never felt before. Real fear. Panic. And I was able to talk myself out of that first one. That was 1978. By then I'd been on them for 16 months. There was some continuation of that, of course, in 1979. In 1980, they effectively halved the dose, as I said in some of the video, by Um, Taking out Mogadon completely, Mogadon being Temazepam. That's what I've been through that. I've been through the personal. Now, they've known for many, many years, many, many, many years, that these drugs are addictive, and denied it for many, many years, which, in my opinion, is completely evil. They've put millions of people through hell, and a very large number have killed themselves while in diazepam withdrawal. And I don't blame them one little bit. I've been very, very close myself, just to stop the symptoms, the withdrawal symptoms. No other reason at all. And a few years ago, out came, finally, 18 pages worth of what they now call benzodiazepine withdrawal syndrome. 18 pages. I printed them all out. I have them. They are vastly reduced, and in fact, you'll be going to have a job now to get hold of them. They've buried them. And what the pharmaceutical companies are now doing is, well, they're still marketing them here, of course, to unsuspecting youngsters who've never heard of the withdrawal symptoms or the class action of the late 80s, which failed because psychiatrists said they could not see a connection between the drug and the withdrawal symptoms. Well, that's pretty much like asking a rapist to decide whether his victim has been harmed by what he did. After all, it was the shrinks who were prescribing them, largely. So that class action failed, but it was in the late 80s, early 90s. A vast amount of publicity, buried again. So they're still prescribing to newcomers to the drug, fully aware of what everyone else has told them about the horrors of withdrawal, and fully aware that it's fully documented. And did I just say they are now marketing them in third world countries, so they can keep earning their billions from the suffering of billions of people. I don't think it's off topic at all, really. It's satanic. That perhaps these people don't actually worship Satan, as my father and his people did, and some of them probably still do, but they might as well. They couldn't, in all seriousness, call themselves Christians, could they? I remember also in the summer of, I think it was July 2003, I read the supplement to the, I want to say Lantern Report, that's not it. The Lancet, whatever. I really want to say Lantern. And the supplement was about benzodiazepines. And having read it, that too was part of my reason for moving to Wales. I thought I'll give myself, given what I just read, I will give myself 1 year to live. I don't want any of this. I suspect that actually some of that did refer to the effect of diazepam on respiration, which is to depress it. In other words, it makes breathing more difficult. And they know that too. So Dr. Davis' excuse for trying to take me off it in November, just gone, was, oh, in all good conscience, I could not leave you on this drug. Don't you think it's a little bit late? The time to tell me this was in 1977. You knew. Your profession knew. You knew. You evil bastards.